Okay, hi guys, welcome back to another video with Pratham Test Prep. This is one of your hosts, Sanjeev Bhatia, again on this channel, and I have Amandeep sir with us also today for this very interesting session that what should we do in the next 3 months that are left for CLAT as the dates have been announced. So there are a lot of things that have to be kept in mind for the students who are looking forward to give this paper. So we are going to have a very fruitful discussion for all of you guys so that you can follow these instincts that are being told to you, our experiences that we have had in our past years, and what all rules and regulations you can form for yourself for a better examination ahead, right? So all of you know that the dates of boards will be released soon, and we are waiting for the real dates. There were some fake newses also that were circulating, so we'll be waiting for the real dates so that we are able to understand how it's going to be. But till then, we have obviously made a strategy that you can adapt for the time being and start preparing on those lines. Okay, so before we move ahead, I always request you guys to hit on the like, share, and subscribe button. And also, you can join our free Telegram channel that is there under the name of CLAT@Pratham. So you get all the updates about your application forms, your subject-based quizzes, you get your concept explainers, you get your all tips and tricks videos, and also you can access the material for last 3 years for free, right? So you don't have to pay a single penny to go for this. So you can definitely go and subscribe to our channel there itself. Now, coming to the call number, if you are looking forward to get in touch with me or Aman sir or any of us for any personalized counseling or any help that you require, you can definitely give us a call on 5 times 9 75392. That's our number where you can definitely catch us. If you are not able to get through, you have another number that's flashing on your screen. You can definitely give us a call there also, which is under the slide you can see. Okay, now coming to what are we going to do in this video. So there are a lot of things that we're going to discuss today, that how to start the preparation, what are the do's and don'ts, and what are some tips and step-by-step strategies that you can pick up. So Aman sir, before we start the video, so CLAT 2022, we have seen 2021, it was a new experience for the students. So what do you think will CLAT 2022 will bring on the table for students this year?
So Sanjeev sir, I think usually और ये हर बार होता है कि every CLAT is a new experience, right? So right. So when there was this new pattern, right, that was announced in the year 2020, right? So those are बीच में जब नया pattern भी आया था, so जो भी बात हुआ था, right, कि exam easy हो जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा, वो हो जाएगा, again, so there will be a surprise, and I think the same thing was there in the last year's CLAT as well, 2021, जहाँ पर कि legal aptitude section was, I think, was very, very interesting. I would not say it was easy. A lot of people say it was easy, but it was very lengthy. So I think there are surprises every time. There were surprises in the QA section as well. We all know कितना बड़ा हल्ला हुआ था उसको लेकर, right? That there were errors or like even one set in the LR section also. So I guess इस साल भी so, and I think that has a lot to do with the structure of the paper itself. If you think about it, agar aapko 150 questions which are comprehension based, which are passage based, तो I think कौन सा पैसेज वहां पे उठाया जाएगा और उसके ऊपर किस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस है, आई थिंक वो अपने आप में एक बहुत बड़ा एक सरप्राइज एलिमेंट रहता है. एंड आई थिंक वही इस बार भी होगा. सो आई एम होपिंग एंड आई थिंक वी ऑल आर होपिंग कि कोई बहुत बड़े सरप्राइजेस ना हो. बट ये वाले जो आई मीन नो वन कैन से कि इस साल क्लैट ऐसा होने वाला है. आई थिंक लाइक वो किसी के पास भी इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं होगा, राइट? बट वी आर जस्ट होपिंग कि कुछ मोर देन अ सरप्राइज देयर आर नो shockers here. I think ये ज़्यादा important होगा कि कुछ ऐसा ना हो.
Right. So that's well said कि shockers नहीं चाहिए. Surprises are okay. They are meant to be there, but we don't need any shockers for the students. So basically, first starting with the video that we have two types of students, as the picture also depicts. The ones who have started their preparations and one who are planning to start now. So the ones who are planning to start now have a very different footsteps that they have to follow for the time being that they have left. But the people who are preparing from a long time have a different set of strategy that they should pick up for the time. So Aman sir, so what do you think? So people who have started preparing before, like they're preparing for 2 months, 3 months or 4 months, as per se we have seen. So what do you think should be the best advice for those people?
So I guess I always say this कि your preparation should start with a mock, है ना? तो बहुत सारे लोग बोलते हैं कि we should start giving mocks after say 5 months of preparation, 2 months of preparation. I would say कि आप 1 या 2 mocks, and बिल्कुल भी आपके जहन में ये नहीं आना चाहिए कि you will be wasting your mock. ये जो thought है ये बिल्कुल नहीं आना चाहिए. So what you can start with is that you give a mock, और अगर आपको वो भी feel आ रहा है कि नहीं you don't want to do that, then maybe you start with looking at previous year papers अगर अभी तक आपने वो नहीं किया है. So people who have already started their preparation, and why I am saying this, because we also meet a lot of people, we are mentoring a lot of students जो अभी भी बता रहे हैं that they have been preparing for CLAT for the last 1 year, but they have not yet looked at the previous year papers. So I think that's a huge miss. I think you should start with solving those papers. That will at least give you a fair idea of what is to be done, right? कि आपको आगे क्या करना है. और I think इसके बारे में we will also talk about the strategies, the tips and everything. But I think the most important aspect here is that students should know, right, कि what is expected of them. Paper उनसे क्या expect कर रहा है, और उसके बाद these previous year papers or these mocks will also help them analyze कि उनको किस part पे ज़्यादा काम करने की ज़रूरत है, right? And again, we will keep talking about this. We are getting a lot of queries about the board exams now कि boards के साथ CLAT कैसे manage होगा. But what we are trying to say here is कि अगर आपको ये idea हो जाए कि for example, for the time being, you have to focus on logical reasoning, because based on your mock test or based on your whatever you have solved previous year paper, आपको ये realize हुआ कि LR में आपको बहुत सारे issues हैं. So maybe for the time being, for the next 2 weeks, you can leave everything else aside other than GK, right? Other than GK, you leave everything aside and you focus on that one core area, right? और जहां पे आपको फील हो रहा है कि अगर आपका स्कोर इंप्रूव हो जाता है तो वो ओवरऑल स्कोर में भी आपके अच्छे से रिफ्लेक्ट होगा. तो आई थिंक मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट इज कि आप खुद से ये एनालाइज करना शुरू करें कि कहां पर आप लैक कर रहे हैं. We are always there, but yeah, I think that's the first thing one should be doing.
So that's perfect. So, but sir, I want to ask you this very interesting question that have been asked to us a lot of times. So you are the perfect person to answer this, that people who start preparing 3 months before the paper, or so-called the crash course, and a lot of things have been told for that kind of course. So what can you tell to those people to clear their mind that these 3 months can lead them to a good NLU? So most of the people who we meet also also have that negative aspect attached to their mind कि हम तो 3 महीना ही पढ़ रहे हैं, but they don't realize that there are a lot of people in national law universities who studied for those 3 months, right? So sir, what would be your tip for those people who are just starting right now, and what would you tell them to clear their mind a little bit?
I think so wahan par I would say that they should first start from the basics, right? They should first focus on the knowledge part. For example, if they are working on their QA, so rather than like going too fast, they should first devote some time on understanding what are the basics, right? कि आपको अगर math section attempt करना है, so what are the 2 or 3 or 4 core areas जहाँ पे उनका अभी तक like जो जहाँ पे वो अच्छे नहीं हैं, so start with that, right? Or for example LA, right? People will keep on saying that there is no need to read the concepts और ये करने की जरूरत नहीं है, but अगर आपको लीगल एप्टीट्यूड के बेसिक्स के बारे में नहीं मालूम है, अगर आपको ये नहीं मालूम है कि टॉट क्या है, है ना, तो इमेजिन कि आपके अगर आउट ऑफ लाइक 7 और 8 पैसेजेस अगर 3 पैसेजेस भी लॉ ऑफ टॉट्स पे आते हैं, देन यू विल बी लॉस्ट. मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि आपसे वो पैसेज सॉल्व नहीं होगा, वी डोंट नो, राइट? शायद हो सकता है कि उस पैसेज से डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चंस भी आ जाएं, राइट? वी नॉट लाइक वी डोंट नो कि क्या आएगा, बट ऑल वी आर ट्राइंग टू से हियर इज कि अगर आपने टॉट को पहले समझा हुआ है, दैट व्हाट अ टॉट इज, तो आपका जो काम है, the job, right, will be much easier for you. So start with the basics first. Try and understand what is a tort, what is a crime, right? Contract क्या होता है, consideration क्या होता है. अगर आपको ये सारी terms, अगर आप इनको पहले से थोड़ा देख लेंगे, then आगे जो आप प्रैक्टिस करने का सोच रहे हैं वो आपके लिए बहुत अच्छा होता जाएगा. तो बट आई थिंक बेसिक्स पे पहले आप आइए, pick up any good book on this and start looking at all these things कि ये है क्या चीज.
Right. So that's perfect piece of advice. So you should always keep your mind clear that basics are the most important thing when you're starting for any competition exam. So first, starting with for the people who haven't started, right? So these 60 days seems to be the most decider days that you have, because after obviously April, you will be a lot more occupied in life, that we can see. Okay. So
I think
Selena has a question here. Sir, she asked us about current affairs. So what would be your recommendation for current affairs, sir?
Okay, so again, agar Selena, so you will have to help us here that are you starting now or you have been preparing, right? Because as we are saying, right, there are 2 sets of students. So please, आप हमें बताइए कि आप अभी start कर रहे हैं या you have been preparing, right? And uske baad, I think Sanjeet sir, I think we can take the query after that once we know, right? कि क्योंकि अगर अभी start कर रहे हैं तो I think बिल्कुल अलग हो जाएगा, right? So बिल्कुल अलग हो जाएगा. Yeah.
Okay. So till then, Selena lets us know. So Anandita says that they are starting now. So she's also starting now, sir. So what would be the recommendation for people who are just beginning on their GK? They're just open the book.
So agar if you are just starting now, I would say we don't have much time now, so we will not advise you to start reading the newspaper, right? Because it will take a lot of your time and uska jo output hai wo shayad is time pe itna acha nahi aayega. So what you should be doing is that, like for example here at Pratham, right, we have the GK compendiums, right? And this month itself, right, we are starting with the LA magazine as well, right? The CLAT magazine, where you will get a lot of questions on current affairs and the legal awareness, right? So what you have to do is that you try and solve a lot of these passages. Jahan se bhi aapko ye passages mile, aap unko solve kijiye, and rather than going through the newspaper, you try and go through the compendiums, the monthly compendiums. Basically उसमें होगा क्या कि someone else has already done the hard work for you. Someone else has already gone through the newspapers and they have already filtered out कि क्या important है CLAT के लिए, और उसके basis पे आपको एक जो compendium मिल रहा है. I would say that you should start with that. Yes, going ahead, अगर आपको feel होगा कि you have more time, right, then आप बहुत सारी चीजें और भी start कर सकते हैं. Again, I mean, you can start solving a lot of quiz, all of that. But I think the first thing you should be doing is that you start looking at the monthly compendiums. वो आपको कहीं से भी जो भी आपका सोर्स है, right? And you will have to go back also, because अगर आप मई में एग्जाम दे रहे हैं, so it is not just about the last 5 months, right? So it is about the last 1 year, right? So and वहां पर आपको अखबार पढ़ने का मौका शायद नहीं मिलेगा. The only way out is that you go through the compendiums, but you go through the compendiums really well. For example, आपको कहीं पर कुछ भी डाउट है उस करंट अफेयर्स के ऊपर, या कोई ऐसी चीज आपको फील हो रही है कि which is very interesting, right? Then you also read more on that particular topic. For example, I would say right to privacy. It is in the news, right? Abhi, if people are aware of this, right? Facebook stock has gone down, right? Like anything. Facebook stock has crashed, and one of the main reasons is कि जो उनका यूजर बेस है वो कम हुआ है, और यूजर बेस कम होने के पीछे एक जो रीजन निकल कर आया वो ये निकल के आया कि एप्पल की जो नए फोन्स हैं, जो नई पॉलिसी है, वो बोल रहे हैं कि वी विल प्रोटेक्ट योर आइडेंटिटी, राइट? सो दिस इज सो इंटरेस्टिंग दैट at the global level also, people are really concerned about privacy, right? People are really concerned. And imagine a giant like Facebook, right? The stock has crashed because Apple is saying that we will change our privacy mode, our privacy policies. And uska kya impact hai ya kya debate hai jo इस टाइम पे इंडिया में चल रहा है, right? So अगर आप इंडिया का कुछ पढ़ रहे हैं, then you should also be reading about what Apple is doing in the US or what Apple is saying in the US, कि वहां पर privacy को लेके क्या चीज चल रही है. So all in all, I'm saying that if you're reading something interesting and if you feel कि ये बहुत interesting चीज है और अगर इस पे आपका ध्यान आ रहा है, then you should read more on that, right? And I was just trying to connect what is going on in our country. There is a case pending before the Supreme Court, right? The Pegasus case, right? जहाँ पर there's a allegation, right, that the software has been used to snoop. तो एक side ये है what is going on in our country, and at the same time there is something going on in the US as well, which is leading to a lot of interesting things. तो ये दोनों को आपको साथ लेकर चलना होगा, which will be very interesting also. आपके लिए भी interesting होगा ये, और इससे आपका जो बेस है वो भी और अच्छा होगा. So I think pick up any compendium, right? GK compendium, start reading that. And I think मेरे लिए सुनीता अगर आप पूछें तो I think Selena and Anandita. So the catch is with this, if you can give mocks sincerely. So imagine by the time you will be writing your CLAT, you would have appeared for say 40 or 50 mocks. So 50 mocks का जो GK है, right? The questions which have been asked to you in those mocks, those are very important because again, उसके ऊपर भी किसी ने already काम किया होगा. And the compendiums you have been doing, I think दोनों मिला के, you will have a fair shot at the exam, right? I'm not, again, I mean, we can always say कि आप ये भी पढ़ लेना, आप ये भी उठा लेना, आप ये भी उठा लेना, but we will not say all of that. We understand that there is time crunch, and that's what we will recommend.
Okay, sir. So that's a perfect piece of advice, Anandita. And Anandita has also asked about the paper, but just the editorial and the front page, nothing in depth. So Anandita, all the things that you are reading in the front page and the editorial is almost all covered in the compendiums also. And if you want to read editorial, that will only add up to you the skill of reading and interpretation.
Comprehension.
So you can always go for that. There is no,
Anandita,
it is always useful.
Excellent. Yeah, that's excellent. If you're already doing that, Anandita, don't stop doing that. But with that, we are also asking you to read the compendiums really well as well, so that अगर वहाँ पे कुछ छूट भी जाता है, right? And we understand that because boards भी होंगे and maybe you will not find time, कुछ भी है तो वो cover up हो जाए. But you should try and read the newspaper every day. That's for sure.
Okay, so that's perfect. So all the people who are not preparing or haven't started their preparation should also come up with their study plan. They should also make a comprehensive study plan, that how are they going to go about this preparation for the next few months that are left there. They should plan each and every day, because each day is very important for them in the future right now. So definitely there has to be a study plan. And also we have always discussed that you should cover every topic that's there in every subject. You should at least try to do that, right? Because the time is less, so you can always try to cover all these topics and try to cover all the variations that are there, obviously, because you might try 2-3 questions of a single topic, but there might be 5 to 10 variations of the same. So if you solve all those variations, so the chances are obviously more that you'll be able to solve it in the examination also, right? Anandita's read old books and civics and English books. Okay, definitely, Anandita, reading helps in this exam. So whatever you are reading will definitely help you a lot. Aman sir wants to add something, sir.
Sorry. So I think Ananta, again, it is all about how much time we have got, right? So otherwise, it's a great thing that you are reading, right, a lot. But I think abhi ke liye, Ananta, you will also have to see कि जो आप पढ़ रहे हैं उसका क्या output निकल के आ रहा है फिलहाल, because again, I mean, you know, we are just talking about the 3 months, right? हम 3 महीने की बात कर रहे हैं. So I think यहाँ पर भी what you should try and do is that you try and read more which is directly related to the exam, right? You try and read more stuff which is directly related to the exam. For example, अगर आप बात बोल रहे हैं कि you're already reading old English books, right? But अगर आप वही time ज़्यादा spend कर पाएं with the newspaper, for example, or with your legal aptitude topics, right? Or you spend that time on solving CR passages, critical reasoning passages, again, जो आप करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि आपकी रीडिंग स्पीड के ऊपर काम करने का, वो भी होगा. बट आई थिंक उसके साथ साथ आपको एक और एडवांटेज भी है कि यू आर डायरेक्टली वर्किंग टुवर्ड्स योर गोल एज वेल, कि आपको क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग का भी कॉन्सेप्ट जो है वो ज्यादा अच्छे से, आई मीन यू नो, लाइक यू विल बी improving your score there as well. So I think otherwise we always recommend to read whatever you can read. But I think for the last 3 months, try and read something that will have a direct impact on your exam.
Okay, so that's a perfect piece of advice, Anandita, that you can follow. And also the people who are just starting up, genuine knowledge needs to be a daily affair that we have discussed always, because if you are even reading the compendiums also have a lot of material that you need to cover. So definitely it is a daily affair that you need to do for the days that are left in your hand right now. Now coming to the next part, that what should be kept in mind. So as Aman sir has also said this, that the first focus should be on knowledge. Knowledge should be something that you should prioritize right now rather than going for speed. You should prioritize your knowledge and accuracy. That is something that you would also say, Aman sir.
Bilkul. So I guess, and again, there should not be any confusion here whatsoever. Guys, right now we are talking about people who are just starting, right? Because agar aap humse पूछें कि you have been preparing already for the last 6 months, this will change, because then we will say that you should be focusing right now more on the speed element. Abhi aapko sara focus aapka knowledge ki bajay speed pe hona chahiye, but that is for the other lot, right? Not for the lot who are starting right now. So I hope we are again making it very clear कि अभी जो हम बात कर रहे हैं, that is for the lot with or the students, right, who are starting right now, right, who are starting with the crash course. तो उनके लिए हम बोल रहे हैं कि उनको पहले जो बेसिक्स हैं एटलीस्ट वो मालूम होने चाहिए कि LA में क्या आने वाला है, LR में क्या आएगा, QA में क्या टॉपिक्स हैं. तो आई थिंक वहां पर दैट्स व्हाट वी आर ट्राइंग टू से कि नॉलेज अभी के लिए ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट रहेगा. एंड स्किल्स ऑब्वियसली एक बार आपको ये आइडिया हो जाएगा, यू नो व्हाट लॉ ऑफ टॉट्स इज, और आपको क्राइम के बारे में आइडिया है, या आपको जो आपके QA के टॉपिक्स हैं वहां पर आपको आइडिया हो गया कि यू नो लाइक यू हैव अ फेयर आइडिया, आपको वो formulas याद हैं, then you can start working on your speed, right? Then you start working on your comprehension. And also the fact that because you're just starting, तो अभी एकदम से तो आपका speed anyways बहुत अच्छा होगा भी नहीं, right? और अगर बहुत अच्छा है तो that is excellent, right? Again, we are not denying the fact that if you are you've been reading a lot, तो जरूरी नहीं है कि वो अच्छा नहीं होगा, वो बिल्कुल अच्छा भी हो सकता है. But still you should first aim at this point. QA has least weightage. But again, very, very important section. So if you have math as a subject, yeah, if you're not scared of math, like I was, right? I was really scared of QA section. लेकिन अगर आप नहीं हैं, then I think you should start focusing more on that section, because वो एक make or break section बन जाता है usually, because there are a lot of people like me, right, who don't like the QA part that much, right? तो अगर आपको QA पसंद है, या if you're not scared, तो I think वो आपको कोशिश आपकी होनी चाहिए कि you work on that first. आप पहले उस पे काम कीजिए, because rest it's a ever going, ever evolving thing, right? वो धीरे धीरे ही होगा, right? And you will start working on your CR. अगर आप ये expect आपकी एक्सपेक्टेशन है कि आप CR की बुक उठाएंगे and you will score, I mean, 50 out of 60 or even 40 out of 60, तो वो नहीं होने वाला है, right? It will take some time, but QA straight away, I mean, if you are good at it, तो आपको उसका फायदा होगा. Then previous year papers are very important. I have already talked about it, right? So बिल्कुल आप previous year papers को solve कीजिए. It will give you a fair idea क्या करना है. Legal content, अभी बात किया हमने. Basics of legal aptitude you should know. अगर आपको कोई भी ये बोलता है कि नहीं, there is no need to do that, there's no need to read the legal concepts, I think वो सही नहीं होगा. आपको एग्जाम में काफी इश्यूज आ सकते हैं अगर आपको कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट्स पहले से पता नहीं थे. एंड if you have any doubts in mind, just look at this year's CLAT paper, जो इस साल 2021 का जो पेपर था. आपको कभी भी कोई डाउट है इसको लेके, just look at the paper and imagine कि अगर आपको वो सारे कॉन्सेप्ट्स आपने पहले नहीं देखे हुए हैं, तो कितना मुश्किल हो जाएगा आपके लिए उन कॉन्सेप्ट्स को पेपर में सॉल्व करना. एंड स्टार्ट विद सॉल्विंग एटलीस्ट 1 to 2 मॉक टेस्ट पर वीक. इससे आप बिल्कुल शुरू कर सकते हैं. यू कैन टेक अ ब्रेक इन बिटवीन एज वेल. अगर आपको फील हो रहा है कि मे बी आपका स्कोर बहुत अच्छा नहीं हो रहा है और यू आर फीलिंग डीमोटिवेटेड, तो 1-2 मॉक्स के बाद यू कैन टेक अ ब्रेक फॉर 1 or 2 weeks, वर्क ऑन द बेसिक्स अगेन एंड देन स्टार्ट अगेन. बट मॉक्स का आइडिया यही होना चाहिए कि आप अब से लेकर एग्जाम तक आपको मॉक्स देते रहना है, बिकॉज वी डोंट हैव मच टाइम लेफ्ट. सो सलीना is asking if even I'm scared, so should I focus on other subjects? Yes, Salina. So अगर ये आपको बिल्कुल clear है, right, that you are not like you don't like math, तो अगर आपको ये बहुत clarity है, तो मैं ये बोलूंगा कि rather than leaving the QA section all together, you just pick up 2 or 3 topics which you feel you can do, right? And please don't say कि मेरे को वो 2-3 भी नहीं पता है, because वो सब even if I never like QA, but there were 2 or 3 topics जो आप शायद हमेशा कर सकते हैं. For example, simple interest, for example, time, speed, distance, percentages, right? These are like basic concepts, right? So you just have to practice those. And आपका जो ज़्यादा focus है, exactly as you are saying, वो ज़्यादा focus बाकी subjects पे हो सकता है, होना चाहिए, but don't leave the QA section all together. That is not at all recommended, Selena. And why is that? Because we don't know, right? We don't know कि शायद QA section ही इस बार CLAT का सबसे easy section आ जाए, है ना? और हम सोच के गए हैं कि हम तो देखेंगे भी नहीं, right? So we can never do that. We should never do that. Right. Sanjit, sir.
So that's perfect, sir. So also you need to remember that a lot of people who are giving the CLAT exam are from the science background. So leaving the QA section will be a wrong decision to make. You should at least score average number of marks, at least half what is required. So that will make or break your section here and there.
And by the way, both the speakers here, right, are from science background, right? तो जो लोग बात कर रहे हैं आपसे लॉ के बारे में, right, and how to attempt the paper, both of them, right, myself and Sanjit sir, हम दोनों science background से ही हैं. तो as he is saying कि आपको बहुत सारे लोग मिलेंगे who are from science background and who do really well in this exam because of this very reason.
Right. So that is why you need to also focus a little bit so that you can also sharpen your maths a little bit before the paper. Now, coming to the next part is that people who have already started their prep, sir, this is the most important lot also. They are thinking, they have a lot of aspirations before they are going in the paper, a lot of things in their mind and also a lot of pressure, right? Because they're prepared for so long, they have that things attached to their mind that they want to go to an NLU, and there are a lot of things that would be going on in their mind right now. So what do you think would be the best piece of advice for them to go for, because they have the skill, they have the knowledge? Now these 3 months will be something that they'll be looking forward to sharpen them more, or what should they do? They should focus more on reading, or what should be their strategy for now?
So I think I've been saying this for last so many years now. I think again, so making it very clear, this is for the students who have already started with their prep. They have been preparing for last 6 to 8 months. Now, what they should do is they should start looking at the mocks like their preparatory material. Now, why I'm saying this is because like everyone knows mocks are important. सब लोग यही बात बोलते रहते हैं. और I think, and guys, please, if you have any personal, I mean, queries, or यहाँ जहाँ पे आपको अलग से कुछ issue है, you can always ask us in the Q&A answer section. We will try and answer your query अलग से भी. But basically, what you have to understand is that the mock should not be looked at like a test all the time, right? Because हम हमेशा ये देखते हैं कि मैंने ये mock दिया, मेरे को इतना score आया, and either it was a good score or a bad score. If it's a bad score, we don't like or we don't want to attempt the next mock. But what if we tell you that you give a mock but don't look at the score? Take the score out of the picture. Just solve the mock as if it's a preparatory material, right? Why? Because you are getting everything there. Aapka jo, for example, I would also go to the extent of saying कि आपका revision भी जो होना चाहिए इस stage पे, that should also be through a mock. आपको जो नया concept भी पढ़ना है, that should also be through the mock. For example, संजीत साहब अभी हम बात कर रहे थे GK की, right? Imagine there is a problem, there is a particular passage in the paper itself, in the mock test itself. तो आपने उसको attempt किया, आपको वो नहीं आया, right? What you can do, or what you should do is, you should Google it, you should make notes on that particular passage कि अगर इससे related कुछ और भी आता है, right, then I should be in a position to solve that passage. Similarly, if I have to give another example on legal aptitude, as we were saying, right, कि हमें नहीं मालूम कि what is consideration, and there is a question in the mock, है ना? एक सवाल है और आप हमें नहीं पता था, maybe even after reading the passage it was not clear. आप तब अपनी knowledge primer book खोलिए and then you go to that page जहां पर आपको consideration explain किया गया है. But I would not recommend that you keep on reading the knowledge primer books or the theory books again and again. It will not help you. You treat your mock as a prep material and you treat the mock as your revision material as well. So आपको मैं क्या बोलूँगा कि you can save a lot of time if you believe कि you can revise everything through the mock itself, right? You need not look at what law of contract is all the time. आप सिर्फ सीधा mock दीजिए. I think so that's the most important thing. A lot of people will save a lot of time with that as well.
Okay, that's perfect piece of advice. And also, I would also add up on that solving every variation is also still very important. Don't forget on that because a lot of students tend to start solving the mocks and forget to solve all the variations that were there in the earlier topics. So do make sure that mocks also act as a question bank for you, and there is a separate question bank for a variation based subjects and topics that are there. So definitely make sure you're doing all of them. And also, sir, legal aptitude has a link with the current affairs and legal readings. So as we have seen, sir, legal jargons take a little time for students to understand sometimes. So we have found a lot of students who don't know what is the meaning of acquittal or some things of that sort. So what would be the advice for students to learn these small legal jargons very quickly and also get used to reading them also?
I think the simplest answer would be just read. I mean, whatever. We also share a lot of articles in our Telegram group as well, right? Where the sources are also very, very different. I mean, there's like some legal article from the US, right? So वहाँ पर जो terms use ho rahi hain, right? You will be aware of that as well. I would say don't try and mug up these terms. There is no need to, like exactly remember what mens rea is, right? Or what injuria sign. आपसे ये expected नहीं है कि आपको क्या ये याद है, but what is expected of you is कि अगर इसको किसी पैसेज में दिया जा रहा है तो कैन यू मेक सेंस नाउ कि इसका क्या implication होगा. So I think rather than trying to mug it up, the focus should be on the fact that how to use these terms. और वो अगर आप read अच्छे से कर रहे हैं, and if you are reading the newspaper every day, I think वो आपका जो naturally जो है वो आपका जो interest है उसमें आएगा, and you will be aware of a lot of such terms. So I'm not a huge fan of writing these terms on your, like, in your notebook and revising that again and again, because again we also have to look at the output. तो अगर हम इतनी मेहनत कर रहे हैं, and if we are only getting 1 or 2 marks out of that, then there's no point wasting so much time on that. So I would say, as it is written, right, it has direct link with current affairs. So what we are trying to say here is that अगर कोई term आपसे पूछी जा रही है, that will be in the news for some reason, right? It will be in the news किसी ना किसी चीज से. तो अगर आपने उस पैसेज को अच्छे से पढ़ा है, तो you will be able to relate to what the author or that passage is trying to imply, and I think that is more than enough. Guys, again, legal readings clearly likha hua hai, current affairs and legal readings. So whatever you are reading in the newspaper, that cannot be said to be a legal reading all the time, right? So you may refer to other sources for legal readings. For example, websites like Live Law, Bar and Bench, Legally India. There are, like case notes, जहाँ पे आप case notes के बारे में पढ़ सकते हैं, या कुछ एक editorial जहाँ पे आप clearly search कीजिए कि what are the legal issues happening, what is in news, और उसके ऊपर किसी author ने क्या लिखा है. I think that is the way to go about that. I have already given one example of right to privacy, right? And अगर आप उसके ऊपर कुछ पढ़ना चाहते हैं, तो you should be reading 3 or 4 different articles on the same issue, so that you have a fair idea कि अगर इस related कुछ भी आएगा, and within those articles you will find all the so-called, like all the maxims or all the keywords.
Right, that's perfect, sir. That's a perfect advice for all the students. And also we have also talked about consistency. Consistency is one key that has helped us all during our competitive exams.
And even that's the most important thing.
That's the most important thing. And also, sir, consistency can lead you to a lot of things in life also. So it's not just for this exam, also in life also, if you're consistent, so it leads to a lot of things. And also, sir, what do you think, because a lot of students who are preparing for a long period of time tend to take this very like, what do you say, a blunder mistake that they do is that they keep their eggs in one basket, that is CLAT and AILET. So what would be your recommendation for that, and what will you try to tell the students about dividing their risk among these exams?
Okay, so I think so there are 2 parts to it. So I will first deal with the first part, that is the consistency part. So even if you keep on doing few things every day, for example, a lot of kids, right, they are going to take a full break for their boards, right? They will say that, okay, it is not possible. But if you ask yourself, is that 2-month break really required? I mean, I think the answer is a clear no, right? I mean, लेकिन आपने अगर सोच लिया है कि okay, अब मेरे को इसी पे focus करना है and I'm not going to do anything else, right? Then obviously, the moment you will pick up anything related to CLAT, you will feel that you're wasting your time because your boards are right here. Another thing which a lot of students will realize is that a lot of people who clear the CLAT exam, they are also getting a score of 90 plus, and they are not like super smart or like super intelligent. No, it is just that they are very clear in their head that both the things are important, right? The moment you start thinking like that, you will find time for both the things. So all I'm saying is कि consistency का मतलब क्या है? Even if you're spending 1 hour or 2 hours every day, right? That will be really helpful when you will be writing the exam in May, rather than saying कि अगले 1 महीना or 1.5 months is totally for board exams. I will not read the newspaper. I will not look at any mock test. That is what is not what you mean by being consistent, right? So consistency is the key. If you are consistent, and trust us on this. You will score really well in the boards as well, and you may get a good rank in your CLAT exam as well. And we all know कि CLAT का जो course है, जो it is endless, and जहाँ पे boards पे we have a clear picture, right, in our head that what is expected of us, right? So अगर students अपने आप से भी ये सवाल पूछेंगे, they will get a very clear answer that how they can be consistent, right? So that's the first part. Coming to the second part, obviously, again, we will say that CLAT should be the main goal, obviously, because the best colleges are there, AILET and CLAT. But you should also, if you're sure about the fact that you will not drop, you are not going to drop any year, that is not a option for you. तो आपको उसके साथ साथ और भी जो forms हैं उनको definitely fill करना चाहिए. All the good options, for example, GLC Bombay, which is not there under CLAT or AILET, right? It is under the Maharashtra CT exam, right? So आप उसको देख सकते हैं. Then you can also look at the Symbiosis exam. You may look at the LSAT exam for Jindal Global Law School as well. So I think yes, you are right. The key part here is, I guess, and what Sanjeev sir is also trying to imply here is कि आपको बाद में ये feel नहीं होना चाहिए कि मेरे को एक और form fill कर देना चाहिए था. We all agree to the fact that CLAT should be the main goal, but you should not regret later कि form क्यों नहीं भरा. So that's what we are trying to say here, that at least if you have clarity in your head कि okay, इसी साल आपको admission लेना है, you will give your best shot to all these exams, but at the same time try and diversify the risk as well, right? So that you have more days, right? So जो exam है वो सिर्फ 2 दिन के ऊपर नहीं है, right? That how you perform on those 2 days. When we talk about CLAT and AILET, there are other days as well, be it MHCET or the SLAT exam or the LSAT exam,
right? So definitely there are a lot of options, and also on this channel also we have discussed about all those options that you can look for if you don't crack your CLAT and AILET exam. So you can definitely watch that video also, and you'll be able to completely get an idea of how people take admission in these different colleges: Nirma, Symbiosis, Jindal Global, UPS, NMIMS. All of these options are available for you also, so you can keep them as one of your backup options for these national exams, right? So that is something that you should always do as a fair person giving a national level examination. Now coming to the person who is just starting their preparation, so prepare for all the entrance tests, as we have said that SLAT also requires you to give a written ability personal interview. So do make sure that you are giving some time to those things also, because they are additional. If you are going for Christ, there will be a micro presentation, so do make sure that you are getting hands on that too. Right now also a lot of students give up the mindset of cracking the exam, sir. This happens very regularly, that people give up in between ki I can't do it anymore. So what will you tell or give advice to a students, that what will they get in those next 5 years if they crack the exam, and why shouldn't they give up right now if they are about to?
I think the easiest answer is that we don't have the option of giving up, right? There's no option of giving up. And I think the second thing they can do to motivate themselves is that, like they should look at this like a dream, right? That they have a dream that they want to go to a good college. Now, how will it impact their lives? Obviously, because of just the fact of their peer group, right? Whom they are going to share their hostel rooms with, or जो आपका जो classroom का जो क्या कहते हैं उसको, कहाँ से लोग होंगे, right? So I mean, I'm not getting the exact word here, but जो इतना diversify जो आपको environment मिलता है, right? That people from all over India, and one of the best minds, right? Because they are there for a reason, right? They will always push you for that excellence, right? They will always ask you questions that why are you not doing that? And that's the whole fun of going to a good college. And I keep sharing this, that you will hear so many amazing stories coming from, like, a lot of these places, that like someone who is heading Uber is from so and so college, or someone who is heading Zomato as the legal counsel, he or she is from a particular college. So ये बहुत सारी चीजें हैं which will be of I mean great importance. Also, people who will be teaching you, right? They are also considered to be at the top of their game, right? The best teachers you will get, the best infra, right? As far as the like, for example, in a law school, right? Library is a big thing, right? कि आपको क्या पढ़ने के लिए मिल रहा है. So all those resources you will be getting, and the best part, 5 साल के बाद the placements, right? जिसके लिए हम इतनी मेहनत कर रहे होते हैं. So I mean, जो आपके पिक्चर पे जो NLU दिल्ली का नाम है, और if I talk about colleges like NLU, NLS Bangalore, NALSA, NLIU Bhopal, so there are foreign firms also coming to these colleges for recruitment. So that shows that they also have faith in the fact that people who are graduating from these Indian universities, right, they are capable of going anywhere and showing their talent. So I think that should be the biggest motivating factor for you also, that you will get to work with the organization like ITC or the HDFC Bank or ICICI or maybe a foreign law firm, right? और वहां तक पहुंचने के लिए अगर आप ये अच्छे से एग्जाम क्लियर नहीं होता है आपसे, तो the other option is to spend 5 or 6 years in the field, and then you will have that option of going to these organizations. Otherwise आप नहीं शायद जा पाएंगे. So I hope you can further like help me out with this. But I think what I'm trying to say here is that, so maybe a student from a not so good college also might also end up working with one of these very good organizations, but I think उनके लिए जो journey होगा वो शायद और मुश्किल होगा और ज़्यादा लंबा भी होता है. So I think
right. Okay, so I would summarize by saying that if you are in a better college, the first step towards a better place will be easier. If you are from a tier 2 or tier 3 college, then definitely things get a little difficult there, right? And also finding a proper mentor is something that can change a lot of things for your examination, and also a guided like environment that will help you to get to the right places, read the right material. So do make sure that you are taking some guidance. If you look forward to get in contact with us, we are happy to help you and guide you. You can always put your comments in your comment box, and we do reply there also. And if you are looking for any mentorship or guidance, you can definitely get in contact, or you can find a guide for your own self, right? We are living in the world of social media, so definitely that can also be done. You can find a guide for yourself, as I did in my times. I had a guide for my own, that at the place that I was studying in, and I also got in contact with some people who were studying in national law universities, and they definitely help you out. So that is also a way out that you can look for. Now, if you are looking to start right now, you should definitely go and check out the website first, right? If you haven't seen what it is all like, right, you are new to this channel, you are new to the whole concept of examination of CLAT, then first go to the website, check out what are the colleges like, what is the course looking like, what do they expect you, what are the like contents of the subjects that are being asked. So definitely that will give you a blueprint of the whole entire exam. So that will help you to decide which are your strong points and your weak points, and where you can start your preparation with, right? And also try to solve before you even start your preparation, try to solve and analyze the CLAT 2020 and 2021 paper. Sir, what do you think about starting with solving the first exam that is there as fresh as possible? So what it helps you to analyze, please let the students also know once.
So as I've just mentioned, I think it just the most important thing is that it tells you what is expected of you, right? That what you should be working on. आपको कहाँ से preparation start करना है, किस direction में उसको लेकर जाना है. I think there are a lot of people who spend like 3 to 4 months, preparing for CLAT without even understanding what is expected of them, and they are focusing too much on the theory part, right? They are focusing too much on the legal maxims, they are trying to learn them, and when it comes to solving the paper, they realize that they are not even able to attempt more than 70 questions out of 150. Now if you're not attempting the paper that much, how will you score well? So there could be a huge mismatch in the way we are preparing and what is expected from us or what is expected of us. I think that's the first basic point कि आपको ये idea होता है कि क्या आना है और क्या कैसे आपको इसके बारे में सोचना होगा, right? And I think you should give a lot of time to that thought process as well, right? That what is to be done. And I think I keep saying this, that you have to act smart, right? You have to work smartly, right? It is not just about working really hard, which is very important, but at the same time, जो हम बात कर रहे हैं thought process, if you will start looking at these papers, you will start thinking about the exam, and that thought process is also very, very relevant. We have seen in the past as well that people who have gone through this phase, जहाँ पे उन्होंने बहुत सोचा पेपर के बाद, मॉक के बाद, प्रीवियस ईयर पेपर्स को देखने के बाद कि क्या क्या और मेरे को करना होगा, एंड जहाँ पर उन्होंने थोड़ा सोच कर आगे कुछ किया, right? So they are the ones, right, who usually, you know, like end up going to all these good colleges.
Right. So that's perfect. So you should definitely give a try to these exams. So you should know what is your preparation like, and is it in line with the paper or not. So that definitely will help you out. So coming to the next part is that what are those do's that you should take for your CLAT 2022? Is that exam, understand it, make a study plan for each month. How are you going to go about it? So you need to understand all the GK that is there. So Salina asks, sir, is static GK important? So we have seen for a long time that current affairs has been a part of GK. So do you think static will play a role in CLAT examination?
Lina, like if we have to be very honest, brutally honest with you, I think you should not be worrying too much about the static knowledge part as of now. Again, I keep saying this. We also have to look at the output कि आपको कितना पढ़ना पड़ेगा static knowledge के लिए, static GK के लिए, और क्या output आ रहा है हमारे सामने, है ना, कि कितने हम finally question solve कर पाएंगे. I think as of now, right, and we are just like 3 months away from the exam, I would not say this is the time to focus on the static knowledge part. Definitely when you are solving the mock, अगर वहां पे कुछ questions आ रही हैं, you should try and solve those, or you should try and understand कि इनके क्या answers हैं. Obviously, because again, someone has already done the homework for you. उन्होंने already वो filter किया है कि maybe these are the important questions or the important static knowledge questions which you should know. So I think you should focus more on that rather than taking up any XYZ book, और जहाँ पे again we hear this all the time कि मैंने वो किताब उठाकर उसको पूरा पढ़ डाला है, वो भी पूरा पढ़ डाला है. I don't think that is required as of now, because again, I mean, time is the key. Selena, right. So I hope I have answered your query here.
Right. And also we tell students to start their general knowledge preparation from March of 2021 till the month of their exam before they are going. Also, sir, sometimes students come up with saying that there are some important months for a CLAT, right? So can you specify those important months? I've seen that there's no specific important month, but like we have seen some patterns following from October till the month of the exams and all those things. So what do you recommend to the students?
So I guess again, I mean, the last 6 months, the last 7 months before the exam, right? Those would always be more important because those are the fresh bhi hain, right? So right. I mean, and again, the paper is such because we are talking so much about current affairs, which keep, you know, like changing. So there could be an order of the court 6 months back, और वो हो सकता है कि उसके बाद फिर से उसी ऑर्डर पे the court has said something else, right? So वो एग्जाम के अंदर वो जो 6 महीने पहले कोर्ट ने बोला था वो ऑब्वियसली नहीं पूछा जाएगा. They will always want to ask you what is the latest scenario, right? So I think right. The focus always is on that, and that is also one reason why they cannot be like too much focus on, you know, like months before, like those 6 or 8 months, because like it is always evolving. There is something or the other always happening, right, with these right. news items. I think इसीलिए भी आप मान के चल सकते हैं कि 6 to 7 months preceding, right, so exam से पहले. But obviously, as Sanjeev sir is saying कि आपको पूरे 1 साल का जो हमने बात की अभी, right, compendiums, you should go through them. Right. But you can always spend more time. That's all we are saying. We are not saying कि आप सिर्फ last 6 महीने का ही पढ़ें, हम ये बिल्कुल भी नहीं बोल रहे हैं. But yeah, if you ask us कि out of, like, you know, कि कौन से ज्यादा important है, तो obviously the the last few months would be more important.
Right, sir. That's perfect. And also we have discussed rest of the points that reading general knowledge every day will be helpful. Legal language and reading current affairs, legal current affairs will definitely help you. Quantitative aptitude is one of the important sections, so you can't skip on it. And also verbal ability requires more practice, and giving mocks every week is something that you should always do if you are planning to give any of these exams. And also there are some don'ts. Sir, what will you recommend for the students who try to study just once or twice a week? So what do you think, that kind of strategy works or not?
I think I don't think it will work for an exam like CLAT. Maybe it will work for your boards, right? Jahan pe aap, like, you're putting in like 2 days of effort and you are finishing off with one of the major सब्जेक्ट्स, वहां पे शायद आपका आई थिंक जो स्ट्रैटेजी है वो बहुत अलग होगा. बट आई थिंक क्लैट विल रिक्वायर, जो हमने अभी बात किया, राइट, इट विल रिक्वायर consistency, so you will have to do more than that, right? Even if you're spending less time, but I think doing it more often or zyada, like, more number of times is what is more important. Don't skip topics as well. We keep saying this, right? For example, if you have made a plan, right, if you have made a timetable that in the next 1 week I'll be focusing on, say, logical reasoning, then the idea should be to complete logical reasoning in entirety. I mean, आप पूरी तरीके से उसको फिनिश कीजिए. अगर आप लॉजिकल रीजनिंग में भी अगर आपने कुछ एक चीजों को उठाया है और कुछ एक चीजें नहीं उठाई हैं, then it will not make any sense. Because why? Because you will keep coming back to such topics every time you will see something in the mock, right? You will keep going back to the same topic again. That you will be wasting a lot of time as well. And आपको कभी भी ये फीलिंग नहीं आएगा कि you are on the right track. That's the most important thing. जो हम हमेशा बताते हैं कि when you are preparing for such an exam, you should have the feel good factor going that I am on the right track, right? और वो बहुत important है, and that will come with a lot of planning, जो हम बात कर रहे थे, a lot of thought process behind it and a lot of consistency. So not reading every day, right? आपने बिल्कुल छोड़ दिया चीजों को for the last 2 weeks or after your board exams. अगर आपने ये मन बना लिया कि मैं boards के बाद ही अब इसको देखने वाला हूँ, then it will get really difficult, right? Study plan, we have already talked about that there has to be a study plan, and I think the most important part is that if you have a study plan, it will help you in the consistency part as well. You will be consistent at least, right? So you will always have that feeling कि okay, I at least कुछ चीज मैं सही कर रहा हूँ. And I think वो भी एक बहुत important चीज है, that how आपका जो like what is the state of mind, right? आप क्या सोच रहे हैं एग्जाम को लेकर. अगर आपको पहले से फील हो रहा है कि ये तो होना ही नहीं है, ये तो टाइम ही नहीं बचा है, राइट, वो बाकी लोगों का इतना स्कोर आ रहा है, then again, I mean, I think that's not the way to go about that.
Right. Okay, so that's perfect. And also we have told you to not skip other examinations also. You should also prepare for AILET, SLAT, LSAT, MHSAT, and give a look to all the patterns of these examinations also. There is not a bigger change in the strategy that you have to take to solve these papers. It is on the same line, so you can definitely prepare for all of them together itself, right? And also skipping on the previous year exams, a lot of students do that mistake also. So don't miss on the previous year papers. Do write those papers, because there's no other option. Aman sir is obviously on that part, that you have to write those papers. And also they also play a very major role in understanding what is the psyche of the examination committee in the CLAT examination or any other examination XYZ that you're writing. So that definitely helps you out. Now there are some strategies that you can take if you are starting from the month of February. You also need to start with your current affairs. As you know that we have a compendium of our own. We give compendiums for legal and a regular GK compendiums to all the students. If you are looking to read that, you can start it from the month of March itself, and keeping your focus from October onwards and till the month of your examination. Also choose 2 to 3 subjects that you'll be completing in a week, and making sure that you are dividing your time equally and not just completing one subject in a go. Also, keeping an upper hand at reading and interpretation skills will definitely help you, because reading is an important part of the CLAT examination. Sir, what do you want to say about the length of the CLAT examination? Because when we take out a printout of the paper, we see that it is equivalent to a booklet. So what do you have to see? How can a person get acclimatized to these long reading passages and these booklets that we get in the examinations?
Again, so I think जो हमने पहले भी बात किया, Sanjeev sir, for me personally, I would say that identification becomes very, very important, very, very critical. So imagine कि अगर हम ये मान के चलते हैं कि if you have to get a score of say 90 or 100, which is अगर आप मान के चलते हैं कि अगर एक ठीक ठाक सा, like not very easy paper, I'm talking about a moderate exam, then 100 or 105 is a good score. And अगर आप ये मान के चलते हैं, then I think 125, 130 is a very good attempt. That means that you have the liberty to leave 20 odd questions. That means you have the liberty to leave out 4 to 5 passages. In a paper like CLAT, that can be a huge factor, right? अगर आप वो पहले से identify कर सकते हैं that what you want to leave, that's a huge factor, and that's what a lot of people will tell you, right? So one thing we have already talked about it. We have already talked about how to increase your reading speed. हमने already बताया कि कैसे आपको you have to read the newspaper, what else you should be doing. But analyzing your mocks, right, will also give you a fair idea. For example, 90% of the kids, and I'm not just giving you a random number, almost 90% of the kids, they don't like reading passages on economics, right, or economy, जहां पर GDP की numbers की बात हो रही होती है, जहां पर. So again, if you are very clear about that okay, if there is a passage, right, which is from this background, right, जहां पर economics की बात हो रही है, या आपको वो as a concept आपको वो बहुत पसंद नहीं है, then you may look at leaving that passage as well, but you should have the confidence of leaving that passage. How will you do that? Obviously, you will still skim through the passage once. You will try to understand कि जो आपको लग रहा है वो कितना अच्छा. And so again, in short, I think so how you approach the paper is also very important. For example, which section you start the paper with. For example, बहुत सारे लोग जब आते हैं तो वो they always start with the GK section, right? They say that they want to get over with the GK section first, right? Which is maybe for a lot of people it is not the wrong approach, maybe it is the right approach. But if you think about it, right, आप अपने एग्जाम के सबसे स्टार्ट में एक ऐसा सेक्शन स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं, एक ऐसा सेक्शन सॉल्व कर रहे हैं जहां पे आपको ज्यादा कुछ सोचने का नहीं था, राइट? और आपने अपने पहले जो एग्जाम के जो पहले 15 मिनट हैं वो ऐसे सेक्शन पे लगाए हैं. मे बी आपका सेक्शन अच्छा भी हो सकता है, बट व्हाट इफ यू गेट 15 और 20 बाउंसर्स और ऐसे सवाल जो आपको फील हो रहा है यार कि ये तो नहीं आते थे. सो यू स्टार्ट लूजिंग द होप, राइट? आपको पहले 15 मिनट में ये फीलिंग आता है कि इस बार नहीं हो पाएगा. And I think that should not be the case. So how you look at the paper, how you approach the paper becomes very, very important in such lengthy papers. So I think wo approach, I mean, you should always seek help from your mentors, right? Here we at Pratham, we try and have a lot of mentorship sessions with the kids who are facing these problems. So I think wahi idea bhi hona chahiye that you give a mock and you try and analyze the mock firstly by yourself, and then you analyze the mock with your mentor who can guide you, right? That how you can attempt the paper better. We are not here talking about the knowledge part or the skill part. We're just talking about attempting the paper. I think wo bhi ek art hai, I think, and you have to work on that as well.
Right. So that's a perfect advice for such a big booklet that you get, that you should also identify the sections that are there and also keep in mind what you have to solve and what you have to skip on, right? And also in the month of March, you should see that current affairs are an important part, and also you should make sure that you have covered almost all the subjects at least once, and also you are trying to balance your 12th boards as well. So there's a piece of advice for all the students who are writing the 12th boards, that it is very important to score above 80% because there are some firms also that recruit after 80% in your 12th boards. So don't think that it's a 50% requirement, so you get 50%. It's better that you score more. Then till the end of March, you have to keep yourself updated with the GK, and also solving consistently is what you have to do. That's what we have discussed so long. And also till the exam of CLAT, you should analyze your mock test that you have given. You have to focus on your accuracy and speed both in the month of April, and also finding a proper strategy to solve the examination, right? As sir told you.
Yeah, the last point would be very, very important from that, like from April till the CLAT exam. I think the whole focus, and we will try and have another session, right, during that period in the month of April on how to attempt the paper, right, and like how, like what all strategies you can be using. But I think April se lekar, and you should be giving almost like maybe 2 to 3 mocks every week after your boards are over, and you should be trying to have a good strategy which suits you, right? Not what is being said by Sanjeet sir or myself. आपको ये भी देखना होगा कि what is suiting you more, right? For example, GK अगर पहले आपको suit कर रहा है, then why not? और अगर आपको नहीं suit कर रहा है, then what would you start with, right? तो आपको CLAT में सबसे पहला section कौन सा लेकर आना है, and by that time you should have given enough mocks to experiment that part as well. आपको बहुत सारे mocks अब तक दे लेने चाहिए ताकि आपको ये आइडिया रहे और कि आपने कुछ एक्सपेरिमेंट ऑलरेडी किया हुआ है.
Right. So that's the important tips that we have given you during the entire session. So you can definitely look at that in the video. And also these were, this is the entire summary of what we have done today. So thanks for joining this live session. Thank you, Aman sir, for such wonderful tips, and also making students aware what they can do and how they can start their preparation.
And I guess we can take any queries if there are any queries from the students.
Right.
So we may take that as well.
Right. So if anyone have any doubts, they can definitely post it right now in the live session also. And if you are looking for any queries after the session gets over, you can definitely put down them in the comment box. We'll be happy to help you there itself. Right. So I guess all the queries are being solved. Students have asked multiple queries during the session. So thanks for joining, sir. I hope it was, so Selena also says it was really helpful. So thank you, Selena. Thank you, sir. Thanks everyone for joining the live session. Do take care of yourself and do wear your mask and use your hand sanitizers, and also maintain social distancing in these times. Right. So thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day and have a nice weekend ahead, and take care of yourself.